Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and today we are back with another video. And this is part 1 to what if Naruto had the 10 tails, or what if Naruto was a 10 tails Jinchuriki. So, yeah, guys, it's been a while. I always take a week break, between each series. So, I hope you get used to that because, I you know I really need a break sometimes between different series. So anyways, we have to push to 2k, guys. We're past 1700. We only need like a little bit more than 200 subs before we get to 2k. So now more than ever, please like ask everyone to watch my videos and my channel. So anyways, with all that said, I hope you like this video. I got a lot of good ideas for it, and I was extremely tempted to actually release a part of the series while I was doing the Uzumaki series, the full Uzumaki one, um, because like the ideas just kept coming, um, and it was really tempting. But then I had to stick to my promise to upload new a new series only after I finish an old one. So of course I keep my promises. Anyways, so the first thing I want to tell you guys is Kushina has triplets. All right. So these three children are Naruto, Menma, and Meiko. Uh, I hate calling her Mito, guys. Like it's kind of weird. It's like Tsunade's grandmother. So and Mito is a good name, but then it's just not original, so I decided to call her Meiko. Um, Unlike other series where I always see the girl being called Mito. Anyways, enough of that. So first we start off with the Kara organization. All right. So now that I mentioned that, I'm pretty sure you guys know where this is going. So Jigen and Amado were in the middle of a discussion, and Jigen was pretty tired of the fact that he always needed to keep guard of the Ten Tails, because the Ten Tails was too powerful to let anyone else guard it. So he decided that uh, he would choose a child in the world to become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. So of course, Amado was still a spy. Guys, it's spoiler alert if you are in the middle of watching Boruto or something. If you're like in the middle of watching Boruto, just click on another video right now, because this is going to spoil it for you, because it's going to talk about like some of the new shit that's been happening in the Boruto manga, and so anime only Boruto fans, and people who intend to watch Boruto but didn't watch it yet. And if you guys hate spoilers, just click on another video. So you have been warned. So anyways, Amado is still like undercover. Like he's trying to defeat Ishiki Otsutsuki, who is under the cover, who is working under the cover of a man named Jigen. So of course, he obviously agrees, because he feels it isn't time to take down Jigen yet. So Jigen like opens his sensory abilities once he uses his dimension to transportation to go back to Earth. Um, and then he senses a really powerful chakra, and of course this chakra was Naruto, and he realized that this just might be the one that can handle the Ten Tails. He already knew that the chakra should be should be that of a civilian, and because the chakra network isn't developed yet, but then they should have a large amount of chakra, enough to accommodate the Ten Tails. So like the chakra coil shouldn't develop, but the chakra should be there. So anyways, he sensed this, and he told Amado of his plans, and of course Amado went along with it. And the reason why he wanted to keep someone as a Jinchuriki is because you can control a person, but you can't really control a tailed beast. Like Amado could help control Naruto and some of the other Kara members, while Jigen could go and do his errands. So that Jigen didn't have to keep guarding it. So of course, this is why he chose to make a Jinchuriki out of the Ten Tails. So obviously he knew about Jinchuriki because he knows what's happening around in the earth. So on Earth, so of course he knows what Jinchuriki are, and he knows that you can seal a tailed beast and all that stuff, and he knows how the Ten Tails came to be. All that stuff he knows. So, anyways, uh, Jigen went to kidnap Naruto during the Nine Tails attack, and of course the Nine Tails attack still happens same as normal, except instead of just threatening Naruto, the masked man who is Obito, he threatened all the children. So of course Minato had to save them. He actually created some shadow clones so that he could save them, and of course everything went like how it did in the original, except obviously Naruto has two siblings. So Jigen was able to sense where Naruto was exactly, and Minato intended to seal half the Nine Tails in Menma and half into Mako, and he decided to at least let one of his children live a good life, and he already sensed that Naruto had a very powerful chakra. So he would be strong just like his siblings, and he would be able to take care of them and be there for them when they couldn't be. So Naruto wouldn't have to suffer, so he would be able to take care of his siblings who would. So that was basically their plan. But then of course it all changed when they just finished sealing the QB, like the yin half of the QB inside Mako. And by the way, Menma looks like how Menma looks in Road to the Ninja, um, and like Tenten's dream basically. Um, if you remember Tenten's Infinite Tsukiyomi dream, you saw Menma look like he's going to look like that, and Meiko, she's going to look like a mini Kushina but with blue eyes. So, anyways, Naruto's going to like when he's born, he has blonde hair and purple eyes, like Kushina's purple eyes. But that kind of changes when he gets the Ten Tails. Anyways, Jigen kidnaps Naruto, and Minato and Kushina are absolutely shocked because, like, one moment Naruto is there lying next to Menma and Mako, and the other moment he wasn't. And of course, since Minato doesn't use the Reaper Death Seal to seal half the Nine Tails in himself, he doesn't die, and he also doesn't have to jump in front of the way of in front of the Nine Tails claw, uh, like when it tried to pierce the children, because Kushina's Uzumaki chains were stronger this time and they were able to hold the Nine Tails down. So anyways, after the sealing was over, Kushina was about to die, but Minato quickly collected all the residual Nine Tails chakra, and he sealed the that residual chakra inside Kushina so that she could keep her chakra coils running and she wouldn't die. So Minato felt really happy that he was able to protect his family, but it was kind of bittersweet because they lost Naruto, and Naruto is actually the oldest of the triplets because he was born first, like 2 minutes before Menma, and he was really sad that he lost his first child, but then he was happy that he was able to protect the rest of them. So Minato and Kushina both collapsed out of chakra exhaustion after that, and they were taken to the hospital. And by the way, guys, this isn't going to be a story of of neglect or anything because of Naruto having the Ten Tails or whatever. Because I'm going to keep Naruto's family good this time, because I kind of want to write a story where where his family is good, because they're all good people. Like I even love Menma's character because you know he's a smart Naruto, so who didn't want that? Anyways, now we see what's happening in the Kara headquarters. So, basically, Jigen, he uses the Six Paths um, phantom seal or whatever it's called. Like it's the same seal that Madara used to seal the Ten Tails into himself, and the seal that Obito used to seal the Ten Tails into himself. So it's that same seal. So and Jigen obviously knows how to use this because he knows what's happening around the world. And anyways, he uses the seal to seal the Ten Tails into Naruto, and immediately the changes start to appear. And Naruto has extremely pale skin now with a slight greenish tint, and his hair is also white now, compared to and when it was blonde moments before. And uh, he also has the Rinnegan in his eyes, and he has the spikes that come out of his back. If you remember Obito, the spikes came from his back with those little red flames. So he has those, and he also has a lot of scales all over his body. And I know Madara didn't have scales, but Obito did, and I think that's because Obito didn't have enough chakra to gain proper control over the Ten Tails. So Naruto has those skills, but they will disappear as he gets older and he gets enough chakra to um, actually have the Ten Tails sealed in him. So, by the way, guys, this is Ten Tails that's a lot weaker than the one that Madara had, because Ishiki actually relies on this Ten Tails to provide him chakra. So whenever he goes in errands, he has to rely on the Ten Tails. So the Ten Tails kind of became a lot weaker. So yeah, sorry guys, I that was my alarm. I had some place to be, but anyways, back to the story now. Where was I? Yeah, so we were just talking about the fact that this the Ten Tails inside Naruto is weaker than the actual Ten Tails from the war, because it keeps giving chakra to Jigen to juice him up whenever he needs it. So um, of course, it has a lot less chakra compared to the original Ten Tails, but it's still like stronger than all nine tail beasts. And this way, the other tail beasts are still going to be there, and it's going to create some interesting scenarios with the Akatsuki. So, anyways, we time skip 4 years, and we see Jigen and Naruto sparring in a taijutsu match. And Jigen also did this with Kawaki, and he went with the same brutality towards Naruto. And he had like a really brutal way of training. So, anyways, he figured that Naruto would handle it because he is the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, and he has pretty strong chakra. So he trained him pretty brutally in taijutsu, and Naruto is like a chunin level in taijutsu at the age of 4. So I know it's pretty overkill, guys, but come on, and Otsutsuki's training him. Like, it's kind of gonna be that way. So, anyways, and in one particular spar, Jigen beat up Naruto so bad that Naruto lost his consciousness, and he slipped into his mindscape, and he met the Ten Tails. So he basically like looked around and he saw that his entire mind was a sewer, and he was like, how did I get here? And he was looking around and just exploring a bit, and then he came across a ceiling array with 10 Magatama markings around it, and the Ten Tails was sitting in the middle, as though the place was its throne, and all of its tails were swinging behind it in like in intimidating way. And Naruto looked at the Ten Tails, and he was like, two questions: who are you and what are you? And the Ten Tails didn't look insulted, because it figured out that Naruto uh, would react that way. And also, guys, the Ten Tails, it is sentient over here, and it is just perceived as a non-sentient being, because no one ever tried to like tame it, like what happened with the other tail beasts. Like people didn't really know that Kurama could talk when until he was sealed inside them. So of course, unless you were talking to him when he was outside the seal, but then, like when he was destroying things, he wouldn't really talk. So, anyways, I'm going to make the Ten Tails something like that. So, the Ten Tails is pretty sentient. So, anyways, Naruto asked his questions, and the Ten Tails was like, I am the mighty Ten Tails, seedling to the God Tree. And Naruto was like, hmm? I don't understand. And the Ten Tails basically explained his entire purpose to Naruto, and Naruto was like, I see. Anyways, I have a question. And he rubbed the back of his head, and he was like, "How must I address you?" And by the way, Naruto has this like mature way of speaking because of his time spent with Jigen and Amado, and Amado was actually like kind to him when Jigen wasn't around, and that's why Naruto didn't really like lose his humanity. So yeah, Naruto was still had like his personality. Like he wasn't dumb by any means. He was smart, but then he still had like a little bit of kushina, the datebayo, all of that stuff. So and that upbeat personality and all that. So, anyways, the Ten Tails looked at Naruto like questioningly because the Otsutsuki clan only treated it with disrespect, and Naruto was asking, the Ten Tails how to address him as though, sorry, how to address her. The Ten Tails is a her. Um, and by the way, guys, if you're thinking anything crazy, I'm not going to ship Naruto the Ten Tails because that's ridiculous. So, just telling you. It's just the name I found for the Ten Tails is for a girl. So, anyways, the Ten Tails looked at this human, actually caring about what uh, she wanted him to address him as, and she realized that this actually might be her chance in meeting someone who she can open up to, like who she can talk about and you know uh, not talk about, guys, like talk to. My mistake there. Anyways, she realized that Naruto might be someone who she can talk to about all the struggles she went through with being enslaved by the Otsutsuki clan and all that stuff. So she decided that she wouldn't waste this opportunity and uh, get her first ever friend in like several millennia, and she was like, "You can address me as Suki." And Naruto was like, "Tsuki, that's an interesting name." And the Ten Tails was like, "Yeah, it means moon. It's That's what my creator named me after." And Naruto was like, "So who's this creator?" And the Ten Tails was like, "He's the only person I respect from that wretched Otsutsuki clan. He was the only one who actually cared about us." Uh, I would actually notice the sad expression on his face whenever any Otsutsuki clan members would take me away, or any of the other Ten Tails. And Naruto was like, "Wow, Tsuki, that's a pretty sad life you lived." And Tsuki was like, "Well, I was never shown any kindness ever since I came to this planet because of the Otsutsuki clan mission." And Naruto, when he asked what the mission was, the Ten Tails told him all about how the Otsutsuki work and all that stuff. And Naruto was like, I have to tell everyone. And the Ten Tails was like, "No, Naruto, not until you're strong enough. Alerting anyone of the presence of the Otsutsuki clan will only lead to a fast wipeout. There's no one in the world who's strong enough to take on someone like Jigen. And if other Otsutsuki members hear what's happening and come along to help, it's not going to be pretty."
And Naruto was like, then what am I supposed to do? The Otsutsuki clan, they can take over, they can destroy all humans. And the Ten Tails was like, well, you have to train. You have me, don't you? And Naruto was like, you're gonna train me? And Tsuki was like, I'm not just gonna train you, I'm gonna also teach you how to use my power. However, I can only train you ninjutsu and genjutsu, and also six path senjutsu. I can't train you in taijutsu because I can't be a suitable sparring partner for you. And Naruto was like, I see, I understand, but what is senjutsu? I've heard of ninjutsu and genjutsu and taijutsu, but what is senjutsu? And like that, Tsuki basically explained everything to Naruto, and Naruto learned about all chakra theory, and the Ten Tails started teaching him ninjutsu. And Naruto was like, "By the way, Tsuki, how do you know ninjutsu? I thought you were stuck here for millennia." And the Ten Tails basically took a prideful tone, and she was like, "Who do you think I am? I'm the mighty Ten Tails. I know what everything that's going on in this world. I have watched when the Sage of Six Baths built this world and created Ninshu, and when his son created Ninjutsu. I know how every element works and how chakra itself works down to the most technical level. I know how to do the jutsus as well since I've watched them being be created." And Naruto was like amazed when the Ten Tails told him about all her experiences and all that she saw. And Naruto was like, you mentioned for ninjutsu I have to use hand signs, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that." And Naruto was like, well, do you know anywhere I can get a book about that? And the Ten Tails was like, hmm, that nice old man Amado has a library. Maybe you can ask him. And by the way, guys, I'm just saying this because Amado's hell smart. Like, he's so smart that Jigen needed his help, to create another karma seal. Like, uh, he had more than god level intelligence, and Otsutskis are like gods. So yeah, Amado would definitely have something like a library. So, anyways, Naruto uh, basically asked of Amado for a book on chakra theory and hand signs, and Amado was like, "Ah, so you want to learn all that early? I see. I really appreciate that attitude, Naruto." And Naruto just smiled, and Amado gave him the books, and Naruto practiced making the hand signs, and afterwards the Ten Tails taught him ninjutsu, and first the Ten Tails taught him the Shadow Clone Jutsu because of all the time it would save in training. And of course, Naruto did unlock his chakra by now unconsciously because of Jigen fighting him in taijutsu. So of course, Naruto was able to learn how to do jutsus. And since he had the Ten Tails and Six Path Sage mode, he had access to every chakra nature, every Kekigenkai chakra nature, and like even the dust release. And he could create he could create like an infinite supply of clones because of the Ten Tails chakra helping him. And Naruto is also training his body so that uh, he could deal with the Ten Tails chakra and use it without it hurting him. And his chakra coils became so large because the influence on the Ten Tails that his muscles had to forcibly grow in order to accommodate them. And it also caused his natural baby fat to disappear. And he looked extremely well muscled for a 4 year old. Like his training was going on, so he's like 4 years 6 months or so. And because of his infinite supply of shadow clones, he basically trained for decades pretty much. And he was he was like the most skilled in every element in ninjutsu, and now the Ten Tails decided to teach him genjutsu. And by the way, throughout all this, Jigen is still teaching him taijutsu. So he's like high chunin level by now in taijutsu. So the Ten Tails taught him genjutsu, and since Naruto had the Rinnegan, he also had access to the Sharingan and the Mangekyo. And since he already had the Rinnegan stage, his Mangekyo was already the Eternal one, so he could use all three of those dojutsus. And since the Ten Tails chakra also gave him access to yin and yang release, uh, and also yin yang release, he got the ultimate form of that, which was chakra nullifying orbs, which were truth seeking orbs, and he had 10 of them. And the Ten Tails taught him how to use genjutsu and the truth seeking orbs. And Naruto learned how to use genjutsu even with his Rinnegan. And he became extremely skilled in genjutsu. And I know I'm making Naruto OP, guys, but come on, if anyone has the Ten Tails, they'd be OP, because like if you saw Obito and Madara, you know what I'm talking about. uh, Anyways, Naruto is now 5 years old, and he's like low Junin level in Taijutsu, and this is because he actually practices with his clones. So that's why he was able to make so much progress within just a year when he was Chunin level at 4. So he became low Junin level at 5 because of the shadow clones. And all his jutsus were like maxed out pretty much in their level, and his chakra control was impeccable as well, because the Ten Tails did teach him that since his chakra was extremely large, he would have to learn chakra control, because he wouldn't have it naturally, since his chakra was so dense and so large that even like a tiny amount of it would uh, like even like a tiny change in the amount used for jutsu would cause it to fail, so or get wasted. So Naruto learned from a young age how to do tree walking and water walking, and he even did an extremely challenging chakra control exercise, which was walking up a waterfall. And this took him a huge amount of time, but then he was able to get it down because shadow clones answered everything. So anyways, um, now he was 5, and the Ten Tails wanted to start teaching him sealing jutsus, but then uh, before he could start learning, Amado actually realized that he had a chance to let Naruto escape since Jigen was away on an errand, and he knew where Naruto came from, and he just didn't know what Naruto's heritage was, because Jigen didn't really care enough to find out. So Amado knew that Naruto was from the Leaf Village, so he decided to uh, um, tell him how to get back there. And Naruto trusted Amado enough to show him some of his skills, so Amado had no qualms with sending Naruto alone, since he knew Naruto would be able to take care of himself. So Naruto left the hideout, and when Jigen came back, uh, Amado actually told Jigen that a cyborg was watching Naruto, a cyborg that Amado made, and Jigen was like, I don't care, Amado, this is still your fault for trusting one of your silly cyborgs to take care of him. Do you know how important he was? And Amado, he inwardly smirked, because he knew that Jigen wouldn't kill him, because Amado was too important to Jigen. And as of now, Jigen had no way of finding out that Amado was actually the traitor, because Amado covered his tracks pretty well. So, anyways, Jigen basically decided to destroy the cyborg as a punishment. And the cyborg also had a fake memory which was planted by Amado, uh, which uh, which informed it that it was the one that's responsible. And the cyborg basically just smiled uh, at Jigen, and when the fight started, the cyborg actually almost defeated Jigen. And by the way, guys, you may think I sound crazy right now, but then the cyborgs are extremely powerful in Boruto. Uh, if you know what's going on in Boruto right now, the cyborgs are like another league. Uh, I already told you guys that there may be spoilers for Boruto, and there will be spoilers for Boruto. So, anyways, what I'm referring to is Code. So, Code basically is so strong that he actually needed limiters to suppress his strength in order for him to not be stronger than Jigen. So, they're crazily strong. So this cyborg almost defeated Jigen, but some other nameless Kara members, like powerful ones, of course, uh, they managed to save Jigen, and after that incident, Jigen ordered Amado to destroy all cyborgs, and Amado knew that if he wanted to continue gathering intel on Jigen and find a way to defeat him, he would need to comply for now. So he destroyed all his cyborgs, and he hid a few, of course. In an undisclosed location that Jigen wouldn't suspect. Uh, like Amado's pretty smart, guys. He would be able to do that. So, anyways, uh, he just did that. So, anyways, that's what happened. So now we move back to Naruto, who's making his way towards Konoha. So Naruto was like, "Hey, Tsuki, I look a bit different than I would have looked like if you weren't there, right?" And by the way, guys, Naruto found a way to go out of the six path sage mode that the Ten Tails gave him, and also he managed to lose the Ten Tails cloak. So he looked like he was wearing normal clothes, and he was a normal kid except for his extremely pale, slightly green tinted skin and his white hair. And he also had two tiny horns coming out of his head. But anyways, Naruto knew that he didn't look like this naturally. It was because of the Jubi, and Tsuki was like, "Yeah, do you like what I did?" And Naruto was like, "You did this on purpose?" And Tsuki was like, "No, not really. It was just a consequence of the sealing process." And Naruto just sighed in relief, and Tsuki basically gave him an image uh, uh, of how he would have looked like uh, if the Ten Tails wasn't sealed in him, and this is because the Ten Tails has clairvoyant powers. So she could like imagine how he looked, and like completely deconstruct and reconstruct him looking um, like from when he was a baby, like deconstruct and reconstruct the image of Naruto when he was a baby, and uh, imagine what he would look like at his current age. So basically, the Ten Tails put that thought into Naruto, and Naruto did a genjutsu on himself to make himself look like that. So as he approached the gate guards, the guards were like, "Who are you, kid? And why do you look like Menma?" And Naruto was like, "Menma? Who's that?" And basically the guards thought that this boy was too suspicious, so he and but instead of killing him or like imprisoning him, they just took him to the Hokage because they didn't think that he would be a threat. And of course, if he decided to go against the village, he would be a threat, but then they don't really know that. So they brought Naruto towards the Hokage, who was still Minato because Minato's still alive here. And Minato looked, he basically glanced at Naruto, and he was like, "I'm sorry, Menma, I don't really have time right now. I have some paperwork." And Naruto was like, "I'm sorry, sir. I believe you have mistaken me for the wrong person." The gate guards said that too, and Minato looked at Naruto and he narrowed his eyes and he was like, "Hmm, wait, no way." And, is your name Naruto? And by the way, guys, Naruto knew his name because Ishiki decided that it wasn't worth the trouble of thinking of a new name for Naruto, so he just let Naruto keep the old one that he was given. And also, if you guys think he wouldn't do that, the Ten Tails knows everything, so the Ten Tails would tell him. So, anyways, Naruto knew his name, and Naruto was like, "Wait, how do you know? How do you know who I am?" And the Ten Tails was just like trying to suppress its laughter in his in it. Uh, Sorry, trying to suppress her laughter in her head. Because she never told Naruto about his heritage because Naruto never asked her, and she thought that she decided that instead of telling Naruto, she'd kind of um, let it be a surprise for him. So, anyways, Naruto was like, "I'm sorry, sir. How do you know me?" And he basically in his mindscape he said, "Hey, Tsuki, how do they know me?" And Tsuki was like, "I'm going to let you find this one for yourself, Naruto." And Naruto just grumbled, and Minato was like, how are you back? What happened to you? And Naruto was like, I don't understand. And Minato called some Anbu, and they're like, I'm gonna need a sample of your blood. Is that all right, Naruto? And Naruto was like, what for? And Minato was like, I just need it for a DNA test. There's something I'd like to check. And Naruto just shrugged and he was like, alright then. And Minato called in Anbu to draw out some of Naruto's blood and take it to the hospital for a DNA test. So they waited for a few hours, and the Anbu came back saying that, like showing Minato the results, which were in a scroll. So the Anbu didn't know, but then Minato just opened it and read it, and he was like, "You're him." And Naruto was like, "I'm sorry, I still don't understand, sir." And um, Minato's like, he just slapped his shoulder and he was like, "Don't call me sir, I'm your father." And Naruto was like, "Really?" And um, he turned to the Ten Tails, and the Ten Tails was like, sometimes you can be so stupid, Naruto. Can't you see his hair?" And Naruto looked at Minato's hair, and he was like, "Ah, I see, it matches my transformation." And the Ten Tails was like, "Yeah, your hair looked that exact same color when you were born." And and basically Naruto was like, "Ah, I see." And he focused back on the Hokage, um, on Minato, and he was like, "Oh, so you're my father. Well, it's nice to meet you." And Minato just um, just rubbed his head and basically just ruffled his hair, and he was like, "None of that now, Naruto. I don't need any formalities between us." And Naruto was like, "If you say so, father." And Minato was like, "What did I say about the formalities?" And Naruto was like, "Alright then, dad." And Minato was like, "Much better. Now let's go home." And basically he flying Raijin Naruto back home, leaving a shadow clone to do his paperwork. And Kushina was like, "Honey, what are you doing home so early?" And Minato was like, "Kushina, you won't believe who I found." And Kushina was like, "Who?" And she came out of the kitchen, and she was holding a spatula in her hands, uh, in her hand, and she saw who it was, and she dropped her spoon, recognizing him immediately. And she ran forward and wrapped her arms around Naruto, and she was like, "Naruto, you're finally back." I was worried sick. Look at all these wrinkles you gave mommy. And she just hugged him, and Naruto kind of really didn't know what to do here. Because like even though Amado was nice to him, Amado never really hugged him, so he didn't really know how to react. And he was like, Dad, what am I supposed to do? And Minato was like, give her a hug. And Naruto hesitantly wrapped his arms around Kushina's back. And he was like, uh, and Kushina was like, so you're finally home. I can't wait to introduce you to your siblings. And Naruto was like, I have siblings? And Kushina was like, indeed, you do. They were triplets. In fact, you three were triplets. And Naruto, his eyebrows raised, thinking of all the prank possibilities there could be with triplets. And but he was disappointed to find out that one of them was a girl, so he could only, fake his identity with his brother, and that too, if they're identical, which he hoped. Anyways, he got over it and decided that you know uh, it's a bit more diverse with with one brother and one sister. Like he could always ask his sister for girl advice. And Naruto's a bit of an overthinker here. Like he's a bit like Omoi, but not that extreme. But anyways, he thinks like way too far ahead, pretty much. So anyways, he was like, "So, mom, where are they?" And Kushina was like, "Well, it's really early in the morning, Naruto. They're still sleeping." And Naruto was like, "When are they going to wake up?" And Kushina was like, "Nonsense, Naruto. I'm going to wake them up now." And and she basically woke Menma and Meiko up. And she was like, Menma, Meiko, you won't believe what happened. We found your brother who we were looking for such a long time. And Menma and Meiko were like, what? Really? And basically, uh, Kushina immediately held their hands and ran with them outside the room so that they could meet Naruto. And she saw Naruto standing there looking around and hesitantly walking as though he didn't want to touch anything. And Kushina was like, "Why aren't you making yourself at home, Naruto?" And Naruto was like, "Sorry, mom." And Kushina was like, and drop that genjutsu this instant. And Naruto was like, you can see the genjutsu? And Kushina was like, yeah, I could see it from the time that you came to our house. And Naruto was like, this is my most powerful genjutsu. How could you notice it? And Kushina was like, I'm not an Uzumaki for no reason. Now dispel it. And Kushina, like she was strong enough to notice that there was a genjutsu, but she didn't, she wasn't able to see what's under the genjutsu because it was that strong. And Naruto was like, but then, and Kushina was like, Naruto, I don't care what you look like. You're my son. And Naruto was like, all right. And then he basically put the hand sign and released his genjutsu. And and they saw his skin color and his hair. And they were like, Naruto, what happened to you? And Naruto was like, I don't really feel like explaining now. Could I please explain later? And Minato was like kind of standing in the corner with his mouth slightly open and surprised because a 4 year old doing genjutsu that's strong enough to you know escape his notice was nothing short of legendary. So Minato was absolutely shocked seeing this. And uh, Minato was like, so that whole time, When I saw you, it was a genjutsu, and Naruto was like, I knew it. You wouldn't accept me." And um, and Minato and Kushina both slapped him simultaneously, and they're like, "How could you say that? We're your parents." And Naruto was surprised that they still accepted him despite his strange looks. And um, Naruto was like, "So you don't care about my skin, my hair?" And Kushina was like, we're not that frivolous, Naruto. Now tell me, how does someone your age know how to do such a good genjutsu?" And Naruto was like, "Could I please explain later, mom?" And Kushina was like, you must be tired. Let me bring some food for you." And over dinner, sorry, over breakfast, they all discussed about Naruto, and Naruto told them his entire story. Except like he didn't reveal any details about the Otsutsukis, and he just told them that someone sealed an unknown tailed beast inside him. And Kushina basically used her mental link with Kurama. Sorry. Kushina basically, since she knew sealing jutsus, she tried to enter this one, but then for some reason she couldn't get through. And this is because the six paths, sealing jutsu, and she wasn't that good. She wasn't as good as the Sage of Six Paths with sealing jutsu, so of course she didn't really know how to get through. And she was like, Naruto, could you please arrange a way for me to meet your tail beast? And uh, Naruto obliged, and he basically let the Ten Tails meet his mom. And basically Kushina saw the Ten Tails, and she was extremely scared. And Naruto was like, "No need to be scared, mom. Sorry, she's harmless." And Kushina was like, What do you mean? Look at her." And Naruto was like, "It's all right, mom." And he basically told the Ten Tails to introduce herself, and the Ten Tails did all that. And Kushina was like, "So, you're more powerful than the Nine Tails?" And the Ten Tails just nodded, and Kushina um, was absolutely shocked, and she told all of this to Minato. And Minato was also really shocked, and he was concerned a little bit about the safety of the village. So he kind of decided to let Inoichi take a look into Naruto's mind to see if he was planning anything, because like he never knew he would never like know if he was planning any kind of anything that would like harm the village, because Minato didn't know where his son was hanging around. So Naruto knew that he had to comply with Minato's request to have Inoichi take a look at his mind. And the Ten Tails said that told Naruto not to worry, as she would hide away Naruto's actual memories with the Kara organization, and replace them with some fake ones, with just like standard kidnapping memories. So basically the memories they saw of Naruto was of him just being chained uh, to like a wall, and rarely eating and stuff like that, just regular stuff. And Naruto managed to escape when the Ten Tails land and like lend him enough power to break through the chains. And even the chakra suppressants that were placed on the chains. So they didn't really like question it. And they decided that Naruto didn't have any traps, and Minato knew that he should have been wise enough to check Naruto beforehand, because if Naruto was just a trap set by one of his enemies, um, and he was like hiding paper bombs or something like that, it would have been a disaster. And luckily Naruto wasn't hiding anything like that. So uh, he was thankful for that, but then he realized that in retrospect he should have had that done before. So, anyways, Naruto was all cleared, so he decided to interact with the siblings a little bit, and try to become friendly with them. Uh, Naruto siblings liked Naruto; they were cool with him, um, but they're just sad that Naruto felt a little bit distant, and he didn't really have any like familiarity with them. So they obviously understood how Naruto felt, why Naruto felt what he felt, but then they still wanted to make a bond with their brother. So anyways, Naruto also wanted the same, but so now we see Naruto interacting with his siblings. So Naruto was like, so could you tell me what I've missed out on? And Menma and Meiko were like, not much. It was pretty depressing till you showed up. And Naruto was like, but you guys are my siblings, and you're the children of the Hokage. And Menma and Meiko were like, well, that's the thing. Um, Whenever we're with our father or our mother, we never we're always treated well and with respect. However, once they're not with us anymore, we always get these dirty glares, and some people even try to beat us up. And Naruto, his the look on his face soured, and he was like, "Why? Why would they single you out?" And Menma was like, "Well, I guess it's only fair that we told you since you told us you were a Jinchuriki." And Naruto was like, "Hey Tsuki, what are they saying? Are they Jinchuriki too?" And Tsuki was like, "Yes, the Nine-Tails Fox is the tail beast of Konoha, and it looks like your father somehow split it into two halves and sealed each one into each of your siblings." And Naruto was like, "Somehow, I thought you knew everything." And the Ten Tails was like, "Sorry, sometimes I'm a bit forgetful." And Naruto just sweat dropped at this, and he continued talking to his siblings, and he was like, "Ah, so you're the Nine-Tails Jinchurikis." And Menma and Meiko were like, "How do you know?" And Naruto, of course, he was like, "Well, the Ten Tails, she talks to me." And Menma and Meiko were like, "But what, she's influencing you?" And Naruto was like, "No, she's actually pretty nice." I don't think that the QB is very nice from the way you're speaking. And that Tentacle was like, "By the way, his name is Kurama." And Naruto was like, "Ah, so you know their names as well?" And Tsuki was like, "Of course I do. I watched them being created." And Naruto was like, "So the other tail beasts have names as well?" And Tsuki basically explained to him everything about the tail beasts and their powers. And Naruto was like, "Ah, that sounds pretty cool." And Tsuki was like, "Well, it is." And Menma and Mako saw Naruto spacing out, and they snapped their fingers in front of him. And basically Naruto was like, "Oh, sorry about that. I was just talking to Tsuki." And basically Menma was like, "Who's Tsuki, your imaginary girlfriend?" And Naruto was like, "No, nothing of that sort. It's the Ten Tails name." And Menma and Mako this time spoke, and she was like, "They have names?" And Naruto was like, "Yeah, and I found out that yours is called Kurama." And basically they both felt Kurama growling in their chest, in their stomachs, angry that his name had been revealed. because he only wanted people who he deemed worthy to use his name. But then now they knew his name, and he couldn't really do anything about it. So Naruto just chuckled, and he was like, "Sorry, Kurama. I didn't know that you were so sensitive about these kind of things." And Kurama just sighed, and uh, Menma was like, "Naruto, how are you talking to the Nine Tails?" And Naruto was like, "Call him Kurama." And uh, Menma was like, "All right. Anyways, how are you talking to Kurama, and why are you talking to him?" And Naruto was like, "Well, Kurama kind of took offense that I told you his name because he's pretty prideful, and he only decides that to give his name to those who he deems worthy of using it." And uh, and Menma and Meiko nodded, like understanding that this would be Kurama's behavior. And Naruto's like, "Well, he's pretty rough around the edges, but then once you get to know Kurama, he's actually quite a furball, or at least that's what the Tentail says." And Menma and Meiko laughed a little bit while the growling in their stomachs intensified. And anyways, um, after they laughed, they suddenly remembered a bad beating that they had gotten, and their faces grew sad again. And Naruto's like, "Hey, what's the matter?" And Menma was like, Nothing. I was just thinking about some bad experiences." And Naruto was like, "What happened?" And Menma and Meiko told him in a lot of detail, like what happens to them when their parents aren't around. So Naruto's pretty furious, and Naruto's like, "All right, how about this? I train you two." And they both were like, "Really, you'll train us? Mom and Dad keep saying that we're too young." And they never reprimand the villagers as well, because without the villagers there'd be no village, and pretty much every villager is responsible except these two nice people who I know from the ramen shop. And Naruto was like, "Ramen? You like ramen too?" And Menma was like, "Of course, we are Uzumakis, we love ramen." And Naruto just smiled, and he was like, "Alright then, let's go." And Menma was like, "Go where?" And Naruto was like, "Well, you two are going to be treating your brother to some ramen." And Menma and Meiko were like, "Well, looks like our pocket money this month is gone." And basically, Naruto just chuckled, and he was like, "Well, you owe me that much. I haven't seen you in 4 years." And Menma and Meiko just chuckled, and they had ramen together. And basically, Naruto decided to train uh, Menma and Meiko while continuing with his own training. And he decided to follow the his old training schedule, and like make them get used to it. And he would make them do physical conditioning and stamina improvement exercises, and taijutsu practice for the first year. And after that, he started teaching them how to meditate and control their chakra. And for some reason, he saw that even though they had huge reserves of chakra, they couldn't control it very well. And he thought that the QB must be influencing them. And he was like, "Menma, Meiko, could you please lift your shirt so that I can see your seal?" And Meiko was like, "That's not how you treat a girl, you idiot. I'm your sister." And Naruto was like, um, "Meiko, I enjoy doing this, but then I really have to check on Kurama. He's messing with your chakra control." And Meiko just shyly lifted her shirt up, and Naruto was like, sorry, Naruto didn't say anything. He just like um, he just like touched the seals on each of their stomachs. And he basically like split his conscious, and yeah, Naruto could do that, and he went into each other bodies to talk to Kurama, and basically he explained to Kurama about how he should let his bitterness go, and he should decide to open up to people and it'll make life more fun. And Kurama started considering his words, and you know he decided to just let his hatred for the world go, and give these people a chance, and instead of deliberately sabotaging them, he would be neutral towards them, and like he would treat them like respectfully, as long as they treated him with respect, but he wouldn't be friends with them just yet. And Naruto was satisfied with this, and afterwards they found that their chakra control is much better, and they did like chakra control exercises with the chi walking, waterfall walking, all of that stuff. And they continued chakra control exercises for the next 6 months, and afterwards Naruto brought out two pieces of chakra paper, and he basically gave each one to Menma and Meiko, and and they were like, "What is this?" And Naruto was like, "It's a paper used to check your chakra nature. You just have to pass chakra through it." And they both passed chakra through it, and he was surprised to see that both of them had two chakra natures each. And Menma had lightning and water, whereas Mako had fire and wind. And he basically explained to them like what their affinities were, and how he knew like basically how each affinity behaves with the chakra paper, and all that stuff. He explained that to them. So he was like, well, lucky for you guys, you both have two chakra natures each, so you'll be able to learn ninjutsus in both of those elements. And Menma was like, what about you, Naruto? How many chakra natures do you have? And Naruto held out another chakra paper, and they watched as it split into four parts, and one part burned, one part became wet, one part crumbled, and one part crinkled up. And they were like, "You have all five?" And Naruto was like, "Yes, and I also have the Kekkei Genkai." And and they were like, What Kekkei Genkai?" And Naruto was like, well, sometimes shinobi are born with two natural chakra natures. And by the way, the two chakra natures that each of you had, one is primary and one is secondary. But then there are some shinobi who are born with two primary chakra natures, and those shinobi are ones with the Kekkei Genkai, and they can use chakra natures that are combinations of those two. For example, if fire and earth are a shinobi's primary chakra natures, they can use lava release. And if fire and wind were the primary natures of a shinobi, they could use scorch release. And he basically explained to them all of this, all the about all the chakra natures and the Kekkei Genkais, and even the Kekkei Totas. And they're absolutely awestruck that their brother was so far ahead. And uh, they're like, "What have you been doing to get so strong?" And Naruto was like, "Well, the Tsuki has been training me." And Menma was like, "The Ten Tails trains you?" And Naruto was like, "Call her Suki." And Menma was like, I'm sorry, but you have the cooperation of Tsuki?" And Naruto was like, "Yes, and I also had a very nice discussion with Kurama earlier, and he is willing to give you guys a chance uh, if you are respectful towards him, and if you treat him like you treat anyone else." And Menma and Mako were like, but he's a Nine Tails. He attacked the village." And Naruto was like, "Well, about that." I believe you should ask our parents for the truth about the attack. And they're like, You know about you know something else that we don't?" And Naruto's like, yes, but I think it's not my place to say because your parents may not want you to know yet. And he was like, our parents may not want you guys to know yet. And they're like, then how do you know? And Naruto was like, I have Tsuki, remember? And they were like, ah, yes, of course. So, anyways, that's where I'll be leaving it off for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, like and subscribe to my channel and share my videos with your friends. We're pushing for 2K, so I hope you share it as much as possible. And if you have any suggestions or ideas or or anything in mind for future what ifs, uh, don't hesitate to comment. And thanks for watching, guys.